Alright, so today I'm going to show you how to securely back up all of your Obsidian nodes to GitHub for absolutely effortless automated sync forever. So we're going to need two things. First, as you can see, I've written an article, step-by-step tutorial that goes much more in depth than I will go here. It's going to be linked in the description. So we scroll. What you're going to need is an Obsidian vault. We're going to create that, don't worry, a GitHub account. This is the one thing that I'm not going to show how to do. It's easy, go to GitHub, sign up. I think you'll figure it out. And basic familiarity with terminal commands. But everything is broken down here step by step, so don't worry. So step one, create an Obsidian vault. So I'm going to create a test one, right? Alt, right, and I'll just place it here so I can delete it later. Alright, so let's put it here. This is the new vault. This is how it's going to look. So, first step completed. Install the Git plugin. Right. So go to settings. You can click here, or you can use the shortcut. Community plugins. Turn them on. Browse. And then here it actually is, the Git plugin. But if it's not there, because this is going to change with time, right? This is how popular the plugins are. Search up Git. Here it is. Install. Alright, while it installs, let's look at the next steps. We're going to turn it on and install it. Right. And then get ready for the third step. So, enable. Options. Check if everything's here. Yep. Alright, so step 3, create a new GitHub repository. So, since I already have an account, I will sign in. Yep. So, dashboard, and create a new repository. So, I'm gonna add Obsidian back up. Alright, and I'm gonna make it private. You can create a description. We're actually going to add a gitignore as part of the steps, so you don't have to do that. Choose a license, it's going to be private anyway, and a readme, we're also going to add that later. So that's all, name and private. We create a repository. Alright, now let's look back what we have to do. Repository. Alright. Now we need to connect your local vault to GitHub. So we are going to be using the terminal for this, right? I'm going to close all this. Get this a bit bigger. Alright. So, this is actually, again, everything's broken down step by step. So, cd, change directory, actually I get the finder. And alright, and here's the test file that I created. Drag that right here. So here we have changed directory to this file. Again, you can print the working directory, or you can check the contents to see that it's true. Welcome MD. That is what we have in our working directory. So that is step 5. Now we connect GitHub with our vault. So as you can see, we skipped here. Here is the code that you want to do, that you want to paste into the terminal. Here you can see I've actually changed it up a bit. We're going to do this one. And again, you can read why I did here, what here, especially the readme, that it doesn't show up, right? But here is the part that you will have to copy. So you can write it out by hand, or you can copy this right here. This is the URL. This is also the same thing right here. This is going to be your account name and the name of your repository, right? So, book. So, get it right here. I'm going to paste it here, and I can explain a bit what is going on here, right? So if you want to now echo my Obsidian backup, it's gonna put that into this readme text, which is going to be shown in the GitHub repo. This initiates it. This adds the actual text file. This is what's going to be the title of the commit, and then it pushes everything to GitHub. Alright, so we run this command. Alright. So, what is the next step? Oh yes, creating a gitignore. So, let's clear that. What we're going to do is, again, you can check your directory that you're in the right place. Then you can touch git ignore. You can also just paste this from the code blocks. Right? So we created that, and then we use nano to access it. Oops. And so what we're going to add here is this. So this is going to be quite annoying if it backs up all the time, because it's going to add clutter. So we don't want that, and we're going to ignore it. These are system files. Again, it's explained in the guide. So you probably can see it right there. We press Control X here to exit. And then you press Y. And then here, you just press Enter. Alright. This is, again, everything here is broken down. This I don't recommend you doing, but if you don't want to back up your themes, or the cache, or the trash, you can also do that. Alright, and right now we can actually refresh this to see that everything is working. Yep, oh, we can see that the actual files weren't pushed, right? So this is actually going to be one of the next steps. This is going to be the last step. You can do it right now. The last steps 6 and 7, you can do it in reverse order. Doesn't really matter, but we're going to go in this order, right? So this is just the file we created and pushed. So we open the Obsidian vault, open the Git plugin, and here you can basically just copy the settings that I have here. So what this does is it makes the backup. All settings are correct. Yes, you might have to reload your Obsidian app vault. So you can open the command palette and get reload app without saving. You can also just close it and open it again. And now here, I'm going to go to Git. Should work, right? So now we set this every 1 minute. Turn auto commit and sync on after file edit, so that it doesn't sync every 1 minute, but only after you've stopped editing, so doesn't send incorrect or unfinished commits. And here, this is what I like to do. You don't really have to, but I like to put this as automatic. Here, this is the automatic vault backup, right? And this is the manual. So again, you don't actually ever have to do the manual backup, but if you want, the option is there. Here, you can also change that, play around with it. I'm sorry, but this is just correct. And I put this actually in braces. Right, so close that here. Again, all of these settings, they're shown. This is actually the third pane. Not the pane, when we scroll down a bit, right? This is here. Merge, pull and startup, that's not necessary. Push and commit and sync. Yeah. What else? Here. So show all star, we don't need this. Hide notifications, and I like to turn this off. Again, you can keep this on. The advanced, we're not going to need this. So again, you can keep, what do I keep on? Oh yes, stage on stage button. Now I actually also hide that. Yeah, you don't really need any of this. Show the author, I usually put this to full. So, and what is the next step? The manual backup, right? So, we return to the terminal. Again, we can check that we're in the correct directory. We are. Then we get git status. I actually already did that. You saw that. But now we're actually going to push it manually. So, again, all of these commands in the tutorial, git add, and git commit m. So this is the message flag, right? And what commit did I want? Yeah, sure. Full alt manual backup. I'm going to copy that. Oops. Up, right, and git push. Alright, now we're going to clear that so it looks a bit better, and then we run the last git status. And this should be on branch main, your branch is up to date, no changes to be made. So again, git push. And here in my photo you can see it's actually not, I had a bit of problems when recording the screenshots. So my actually local branch was ahead of the remote one, but what you should see is what we just saw on branch main. Nothing to commit. That's what we got right now. Alright, let's return back. And so, yeah, here I described that basically you don't ever really have to touch the system at all. You can open the command palette, type git, and play around with this. There are a lot of options. Yeah, you can branch out. And what I really use this for is if I want to commit with a specific message, right? But again, there are no changes. Well, we can create a note. New note text. I'll even misspell it. Oh, this is the graph here, right? We don't need that. So here we can get specific message. Commit all changes with specific message. So this, or we can get manual commit. Edit time and date. Alright. So we'll get again git status. You can see that we created a new note. Let's actually reload the app because the commands don't seem to be working. What is actually the correct thing? Ah, yes, commit all. Commit all changes. Committed 2 files. So I made a change here and here. And git push. Alright. So what we should see here is all of the new files with the manual backup. Right. Manual backup. This is from the initial commit. So here is why we chose the readme.txt, right? Because it works with GitHub, but it doesn't actually show up here. Because if we were, for example, to ls, what is here? Readme.txt, right? So that's in our Obsidian vault. You can look at it in Finder, right? It's right here, but Obsidian doesn't show non-markdown files, so it's not distracting. And so, yes, we set up the system. It's going to back up every minute when you stop typing. You can create some more. You see, committed 1 file. It does that automatically. This is actually why I like to turn off the notifications, because it can be annoying. Yep, disable notifications. So, that's all. I can also run through some helpful terminal commands. They're in my article. You can check it out. Clear, cd, ls, pwd. We used all of that. This too. And this is, if for example, like, I don't really see this ever being really useful, but if for example you created a note or something, and you don't like it or whatever, you can revert your vault to the exact state it was during any of these commits, right? So as you can see, there are 5 commits. What we can do is we can use this command that I have, and this will reverse your local vault to the state of your remote vault, of your remote repository. Right, so you see, it actually already backed up while I was talking. Yes, 6 commits. Alright, so it did reverse it back, but the remote repository was actually already backed up. So this is actually a good segue for this, git log. So you can reset, as I've said, to any commit that you've had previously, right? So when you put git log, this is in reverse chronological order, right? Since it's initial commit, and then boop, boop, boop. This, I believe, will be the latest. 52, right? This is the latest. So, for example, if I want to go to the initial, the first ever commit, I can copy this. This is the commit hash. Alright, keep that somewhere safe. And then here is what we can use. Git reset hard and the commit hash. So let's clear that. Git reset hard commit hash. And again, be careful with this. I don't recommend really ever doing this unless there was something catastrophically wrong with your local vault, but you can do it. So right now we're going to reverse back to the first commit that I made. Alright, and everything is gone. Because the initial commit was only the read.txt file. And since read.txt cannot be read by the Obsidian, again, text files don't get read, only markdown. So this is why we're in this position. And we can go back. This is the initial commit, right? It should be, yep. So, and we can go forward as well. What is the latest on this? Alright. You also use GitHub, right? You don't really have to. Here's the commit cache, right? Can we do this? And everything's back. Again, so yeah, use this sparingly, but the point is that we can, after you've set this up, after you spend, how long? 5-10 minutes setting this up, you can basically not touch it ever again. Here's how my repo looks with automatic backups. Yeah. Again, if you want to go more in depth, check out the article. It's very in depth. It's going to be in the description. Alright. Happy note making. I believe this was quite comprehensive.